Hi Stampers, welcome to Stamp Happy Holidays. This is week number 4. This is Great Inspirations and my name is Kim. Today we are going to make this cute little treat box, and I call it a slider treat box for lack of a better explanation. And it's just a little box that stands up. I don't know the best way to really show you that, but they do stand up. And inside, just push the little box out of the sleeve, and you'll see there's a nice little treat inside. Now these, this idea came actually from a card that I made several years back, and then I thought, oh, if you just slide a box in there, you could use it as a treat box. So that's what I did. And I'm going to share this with you today, how I made that. But here is one. This one I showed you, that's Happy Halloween. And then here's one for Thanksgiving. See, I think these are kind of nice if you're going to have a sit-down dinner on Thanksgiving or even at Christmas, and you can make a little box for each place setting. I call that a table favor. You can also make them as party favors if you're having a party at Christmas time or even a Halloween party. And you might want to make some of these for some of your special trick-or-treaters. They are not difficult to make. They do take a little more time than some projects, but you can make them as fancy as you like or as simple as you like. So the design is, of course, all up to you. Excuse me again. Now, goodness. Now, a couple of years ago, I made some for New Year's. And that's when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And that video is still on my YouTube channel. And in the corresponding blog post for this video, you will find a link to the post and the video where I put together this box. The measurements for this one are just slightly different, but you'll get the same result, and you can use the measurements that I put on this corresponding blog post to make it will end up being the same. This one is just a tiny bit, just an itty bitty bit longer, not by much. So I'm going to put these two away and then set these aside for a little bit, and we'll go over how to make this little treat box. Now you're going to need 3 pieces of cardstock, and one of them is just a 1/4 sheet of cardstock, 5.5 by 4 1/4, and that's what makes this, I'm going to call it the base. That will go right there. And then you will need a piece that is, I need to find my cheat sheet here. This is for the box, and it is, no, this is not for the box. This is for the sleeve. This is for the box. It's the longer one. It is 8.5 by 3 7/8. And you will do some scoring. You will score it at 1.5 inches on all sides. Just keep turning till you've scored 4 times at 1 1/2 inches. And then when you fold those, you'll have this narrow piece and then 2 wider pieces, and then these pieces on the end that are divided into 3 sections each. Now this is the box sleeve, as I call it, and it is this part, the part the box slides into, and it is, like I said, I need my cheat sheet, 5 3/4 by 5.5, and you score it at 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 4, and at 5. Then you're going to need whatever you want to decorate it, be it some cute little die cut images, just pattern paper, stamped images, maybe even just what we're going to use in this one. We're just going to use greeting. It doesn't matter. See right here, we just have some little trick-or-treaters. And on here we have just some fall images. But for this one, we're going to keep it simple and just put the greeting. And then I do have some pattern paper here. So we can put aside our back. Let's make the sleeve first. So we have scored this, like I said, at 1.5, 2.5, 4, and 5. So we're going to fold on those score lines. And we're going to get a bone folder because this is like fun fold cards, any kind of 3D project. You'll also want to get the lines really crisp with your bone folder. There we go. We've got it folded. And now what we're going to do, we're going to fold along the 1.5 inch score line. Do a mountain fold. Then we're going to move over to the 4 inch score line and do a mountain fold. And then just fold this down. Kind of looks like that. It's almost like we folded it in half. Now we have this little 3/4 of an inch piece, and that is the 5 inch score line. We're going to make it a valley fold, fold it back, and then we're going to take some adhesive, and you will want to use a very strong adhesive, be it tear and tape, red tape. I'm going to use Stampin' Up! Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use liquid glue if you like. Just be sure to, let it set for a while with something heavy on it or just hold it down. So let me get my craft sheet here. So we are going to put adhesive just right here, right there. Remember, we folded it back. So here we go with our Stampin' Seal Plus. Now we're just going to fold it down right on to our box sleeve and then push up. And there is our sleeve right there. I describe it as sort of a square cylinder. I know cylinders are not square, but it's kind of what it looks like. And this seam right here is, you need to have that, be sure it's on the outside. Don't get it on the inside of the box, because then your box that you slide in there, it will not, it makes it harder to slide in. So make sure this seam is on the outside of your sleeve, and then this will go face down onto the base. Okay, so let's get our pattern paper on here. And this pattern paper, I think it's about 1.25 inches by 5.5 inches. So we're just going to put that right on there. Now, this is a box I'm making for Halloween, but this would be one I might give to like a friend instead of to a child, because the colors of this paper, they're a little muted, and I just really liked them. So I thought some of my friends might like it too. And looky there, I didn't get it quite to the end. I must have mismeasured. But anyway, this is 5.5 across, so it should be 5.5. And like I say, this is 1 1/4. So now we're going to fold this back down, and we only want adhesive here. We don't want it on this section. So we want to put adhesive here, which is that 3/4 inch wide flap that we put the adhesive on the other side, and down here. So we'll put it right there. And we're probably going to need a little more up here. We keep it flat. And then just line up this along with the bottom of the base. Press. And there we have our treat holder. We don't have the box yet, but we do have the main part of the treat holder. And I have this little piece of pattern paper to put right here. A little bit right there. Now, all my measurements and the supplies I used and all that kind of thing, you will find that information in that corresponding blog post. And like I said, the link to it will be in the description of this video. So there is our basic box. We have a little sentiment I'm going to put right there, and I've already put it together, and I have dimensionals on the back of it. So we'll get it in place. Oops. There we go, trick or treat. I did put one little embellishment up there, and I have some more. I'm just not real sure if I want to put them on yet or not. We'll think about that. So this is, like I said, the basic treat holder. Now we just need to make the box. And we have that right here. This is that piece of paper that is 8.5 by, was it 3 3/8? No, 3 7/8. And we're going to go over those score lines. Remember, we scored on all sides at 1 1/2 inches. I'm going to fold this. And now we're going to do a little cutting. We're going to take some scissors and we're going to cut right on the score line, right here at the end, on the short end. I'm going to cut up. And then on the other side. And now I'm going to fold the center one out of the way, and I'm going to cut off about half of this flap. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just about half. And then we're going to do a little mitering just to make this close better, and just everything just fits together a little better when you just do a little mitering. Just cut at an angle on each side of the flap. And then we're going to go to this end and do the exact same thing. Getting that out of the way, and I'll cut this in half approximately. Do it on this side. And we'll do our mitering. There we go. Now I'm going to get rid of this, and we'll be able to do some, well, it's sticking to my mat. There we go. Now we're going to use our adhesive, and we are going to put adhesive here and here. Close these, get them together, and then put that right there. So we're going to put the adhesive here. We'll flip it around and do it on this end too. It's not liking to come out right now for some reason. That's okay, we'll figure it out. And again, this should be a strong adhesive. You can use liquid glue if you like. Just be sure to give it time to dry, because I know a lot of the liquid glues are pretty strong. So see, we've got that right there. And we tuck this and behind it and line it up. There's that one. And now we'll do this end. Tuck behind. Line up the edges. And there's our box. And it slides right in there, nice and neat. And it actually slides better if you have something inside. Now, what does fit inside of here? Well, the Hershey Nuggets fit in there. The little Dove candies fit in there. Hugs and Kisses fit in there. Anything that's about that size will fit in there. And I believe in here I have the Kisses. And it's like, yeah, there were 6. It will hold 6 Kisses. And in here I have, it holds 5 of the Hershey Nuggets with a little extra space. Not much though. And then this one I don't have anything in. So like I say, Hugs and Kisses, the Hershey Nuggets, the little Dove candies, individually wrapped Dove candies. Those will fit in there. I know my grandkids, they like those little cellophane packs of, I think they're Sixlets, the little round chocolate balls with the colorful coatings on them. They like those, and I think several of those would fit in here. So anyway, here is our slider box, treat box, slider treat box, whatever we're calling it. And it's just that easy to make. Like I say, it's not super duper quick if you put, you know, especially if you're doing something that needs a lot of coloring, that will take a little extra time. But for example, these little gingerbread men, that's all stamped. It took no time. It took longer to die cut them because I didn't have to color in anything. These were all stamps. So, you know, but if you're making them for a special occasion, like the holidays, or for special people, it's not that much work at all. I hope you've enjoyed today's Stamp Happy Holiday project. Thank you so much for joining me. And remember, all of the measurements, and I have cutting charts, score charts, all of that, and supply list, all over on my corresponding blog post. And that is found in the description of this video. Again, thank you for joining me, and until next time, stamp happy.